What is going on, you guys? Welcome to today's video. So I've been saying the goal for this month, for February, is to have our very first VR5 startup. Probably won't go anywhere because I'm missing like axles, brakes, and that kind of stuff, but I want to have the very first startup this month. And thankfully, we are still on track to actually make that happen. Earlier this week, all of my clutch stuff made it to Steve's house. The clutch kit, the hardware, the pinion brace, all that kind of stuff. No issues, it's all good to go. And yesterday, it actually shipped out to me. So I would say week and a half, the clutch will actually be here in our hands finally, and we can put it in the car. But my goal right now for today and before the clutch gets here, I want to make sure all the supporting mods on the Savoy are done, like shifter box in the car, wiring harness, brake booster, that kind of stuff. So once the clutch gets here, it's just on the engine, put the trans on it, into the car, and then start working out the kinks, trying to actually start it. So I'm excited the clutch is on its way. It should make it here no problem, because the last time Steve shipped me a clutch, there was no issues. And again, shout out to Steve. Thank you so much for helping me out. I can't wait to have my stuff and give you guys a cold start. I've been dying for one, and we're getting close. All right, so our first order of business is to go in the barn and turn on all the heaters, because it's currently like 23 and snowing. It's cold, and there's ice on the ground already. Everything, look at this, everything's frozen. Everything's just frozen. It's quite cold. So, oh, my door's frozen to the ground. Where's summertime? Look at this. We got icicles off the GTI. I bet these handles are frozen shut. Yep, look at that. Frozen shut. I'm sure the locks are probably frozen. All this like gravel frozen. I'm assuming that's why my wife went through the barn door today. Because normally we open that one and go through, but I'm assuming since it's frozen shut, she went this way this morning. So we'll go this way through, I guess. Okay. Stand by. I'll kick this door open later. Light. Hello, Pink Floyd. How you doing? All right, so heater's on. Get it warmed up, and we'll start working on this thing. Should we get a cold start? All right, I'm gonna put you guys right here. This is gonna be crazy loud because we're in the barn. The door's closed. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, if you have headphones in, I would take them out now. I would take them out now. Wow. That'll wake you up. That'll wake you up. All right. Got it. There she is. I know we're still a little while out, but I cannot wait to see the VR5 finally sit in this car. Now, we did test fit it a long time ago before we painted it, and I don't know what it is with this engine, just looks right at home in this car. Now once it's all painted, it's gonna look so good. And if you want to get a little taste of what this engine, this car is gonna sound like for the first cold start, go back and watch the VR5 exhaust video, because for this car, I don't have a full exhaust yet, so it's gonna be VR5 to the stock Mark IV Cat, then just straight wide open. If you remember, it was crazy loud, tons of pops and bangs, so once this thing starts up, it's gonna sound like an absolute monster. All right, boys and girls, stage 2. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is stage 2.
Yeah, I know, it shook the house.
Now it's obnoxious. Before it was like good, but now it's loud. God. I think we should be done now.
It actually hurts my ears.
Before the cops come. That's really loud. All right, trigger for a second. Don't go crazy. Don't like mash it. Just gotta give it a couple just taps. Wow, that's really loud. Oh my God. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and cut it. Yeah, let's just turn it off. Maybe we should go inside for a minute. Wow, that's...
Maybe we should just move the car.
That's really loud. So I think the first order of business for today will be putting the harness into the car, which is gonna go through one of these holes right here, and I have some extra grommets somewhere to plug up the other holes I don't use. Before I pull it out right here, I'm gonna bring it inside and open it up. I never actually had to pull the entire harness out of the box when I got it in Florida. I just opened it, looked at it a little bit, and then shipped it here. So we'll go inside real quick, pull it all out, go over everything, and then work on getting it in the car. The reason why we're doing this inside is because it's warm in here. It's nice and warm and nice and toasty, and it's not freezing. So let's pull this out real quick and just kind of go over it. Oh yeah, look at that. Lots and lots of wires to make our VR5 run. Let's see what we got. So this one looks like coil packs maybe? Yeah, I think this is for coil packs. And then this is gonna be ECU. And this is gonna be the side that goes into the car. Nope, that goes one side to the ECU, put that over there. And this side goes to the other side, and we have main engine harness plate right there. And then we have like battery terminal, and this is the portion, you can see all these ones out of the Mark III plugins. So this side goes into the car, and you have like fan control module, all the plugins for the battery, this one and this one. This one goes to the ECU, and this one does as well. Look at that. I'm gonna get it all laid out real quick. So right now I'm just kind of going through and just laying everything out. So before it goes in the car, I can kind of see where things go. This is like O2 sensors. This side comes off. This will be in the rain tray ECU with this plug-in. And it comes through this way and then drops down this section over here. These ones will go into the car for the fuse box. And then it runs down to like starter, reverse tower, I believe these ones are. And now let me go ahead and set up this one real quick. All right, so this is basically, it looks kind of like a mess, but it's really not. There's 3 sections. There's this section here, that section there, and then this big section that goes up to there. So this is like O2 sensors, and then up to the ECU with this plug-in, and then this section over here goes into the car, and then the second section, which is this one, down over to there. This section also goes into the fuse box inside of the car. And then it runs down, fan control module, that kind of stuff. You have battery ground and battery positive, which I had them leave these on, but I think I might cut them and use a Mark IV fuse box that goes in the engine bay and then put the battery in the back, but I haven't leave it just in case I didn't want to actually do that. Up here is our headlight harness, and then I think this goes to the radiator, and then this one as well, and different grounds and that kind of stuff. And then over here, we have injectors, we have coil packs, and all the rest of the sensors. A lot of these will get deleted because I'm deleting some of the stuff on the Mark IV side. And then we have this plug-in here that goes up to that side of the ECU. So there is everything. And if you're wondering, yes, the ECU, the Mark IV ECU has the immobilizer delete, so I don't need to use the Mark IV key or have it present. This will just work like it's basically unlocked, no security system on it. So that's good to go. But yeah, there is everything. Super hyped on it. Again, massive shout out to Matt from Eurocraft, which is this one right here. Make sure you check them out, because for a Mark III to Mark IV swap, you need some sort of harness to be made, because obviously the Mark III side doesn't match the Mark IV plugins. So again, massive shout out to Matt. Thank you so much. This makes my life much easier. So I wanted to start the GTI, let it run for a minute. I have the wagon on right now, but as you can see from my Fiat, my door locks here are frozen. Can't open that side. This side as well. Just frozen. Just frozen. Ugh. Sick, dude. It's too cold. It's too cold for this. All right, let the fun begin. Let's get this harness in the car. All right, so the rain tray is out. The ECU here is gonna sit right up in there. I need to find, I think it's over there somewhere, the factory one for this car, at least a bracket that I had, or I have a Mark IV bracket somewhere too, I think. Maybe it's over there. I'm able to use that one, but this will get mounted up here somewhere, maybe like right there, and then we'll take the wire and just kind of like set this side down. Obviously the engine's not in yet, so we can't plug anything in, but I'm gonna have everything just sat and routed where it needs to be. That way when this goes in, it's just quick plug up and go from there. So this is the bracket that holds in the factory Mark III ECU. I'm gonna try and fit the Mark IV onto this bracket, that way it just fits in like it should, and then we'll go from there. All right, so the Mark IV ECU doesn't quite work with the Mark III bracket unless I kind of modify it, and then the Mark IV one is a bit too big unless I cut these back tabs off. So for now, I just have the wires going to the ECU. It's just kind of resting in there, and we'll see how it fits and where I'm actually gonna put it. I might be able to use this one on this side over here, but for now, we'll just lay the wires out and have it just sit there for right now. All right, so far we have ECU, and then this side comes down and around. These are all the O2 sensors that'll go to the Mark IV exhaust, so that'll get set right down there. I need to go through and route this, but this is pretty much where that'll sit, kind of tucked back over there. And then going this way, this bunch of wires here, a little grommet will go into that one, and then this will go down, and all of these plugs here will all go through one of these holes to the Mark III fuse box, and then a couple others like these ones will go to some of the Mark IV plugins that are out here. And then this one here, the other ECU one, I'm gonna run through this hole here and come up and go to the right side. And then this will be all the plugins for the injectors, coil packs, and that'll come like right here and kind of be tucked away on this side and go to all the engine stuff. I was trying to remember what this plug was for. I wasn't sure if it went this way to the engine bay, and I remember that one goes to our windshield wiper motor. So that has to get put back in there, and that little clear plug we have, this one will go to that. It's always fun putting everything back together, like relearning where things go. Like I know where majority of things go, but you'll see like little plugs like this or like this little clear one. You're like, where in the world does that go? But eventually you'll find everything at home. It's kind of funny, I bought this wire cover stuff from AutoZone probably 3-4 years ago in Florida, and I still have it. I use it for mileage, and it definitely cleans up your wiring a lot. So this section here for the O2 sensors, that's all good to go. I'm gonna do this little section from there to there. This is the bundle to get pushed through there, and then these couple ones are just for out here. And then once that section's done, I think I'm gonna do that one next, because that's the other bundle that pushes through the firewall, which is my favorite thing ever because I love working under the dash. And then I'll finish up with this one. And then before we actually go inside the car and work under the dash, a little tip I want to give you guys that I didn't know when I did the harness in Miley. All these connectors that go into the Mark III fuse box, they all only fit in one spot. You see these little pieces here? Each one has its own little like keyway, basically, the little tabs that come off the backside that only fit into one spot. You see all the little top pieces there? A little like kind of keyed. Each connector only fits into one spot, which makes this job a lot less scary, I guess, because when you pull everything out, you're like, man, where's it ever gonna go? But they only fit in one spot, so you can't really mess it up. Also, on the edge here, so I can do this one-handed, this little piece right there pops up. So when you're trying to pull the connectors out, you pull this tab up, that releases that little end pin. And once all the harness pieces and connectors are back in, you pop this down and it locks them all in place. So just little tips that I didn't know when I first did it, and knowing that makes life much easier. Pull that out, connector come out no problem, and they all only fit in one way. So it makes the job a bit easier. So to give you guys an example here, let's take this plug here. I don't know where this goes, but looking back here, we're looking for a double row stack with a keyway on the top left side. So there's a handful like this one, there's this one, and then this one. And you look at the connectors it's gonna take, it's probably gonna be this one here, I would say. And then pops right in. Now, there are other spots on here that look similar to this one, but you see how easy that goes in? It's just gonna be in, and you barely have to push, and it pops in. These other ones are the wrong connectors, so it might fit in this one, but if I push down, it doesn't go anywhere. So you don't wanna force it, it should go in pretty easily. So this one will go here, right? I missed it. Oh, this one here. That one will go there and clicks in nicely. We'll do one more. Let's see. I got another plug right here. We'll try this one. So this one's a not tall, skinny, single stack one. That looks like it's gonna go probably to this one there, I would say. Let's see. No, this way. That one there, and then boom, easy. Then once you have them all in, this thing right here, you push, locks them in place. Now, even if you pull this little tab, they're locked in place. When I first did my first harness, I did not know that. Helpful thing. Pop it out one spot, and then easy enough, out, no problem. So it just makes knowing how to do this a little bit easier and not too bad. So everything has one home. Do not force your clips in, and make sure you pop this tab over one spot so that's closed, and just one little pop over so they can come out no problem. So I just went through and wrapped all of these wires up here that go to the ECU, and that looks nice and clean. This section down here is through the firewall. It's not plugged in yet, but it's all through. I have to cover this little section up here, and then I'll do these ones once I figure out where they're going and how I'm gonna run them. And then this one, I don't know where this one goes, to be honest with you, but that'll get tucked over here for right now. Now we're gonna start on the next one that goes through the firewall. All right, we are making some progress here on our second bit of harness. I've got it through the firewall and the grommets all in place. These things actually get to pop in are kind of a pain sometimes, but that one's in, that one's in. I wrapped all of these wires off of the ECU side, and then this one's going down through here, and that's all good to go. Fan control module is in place. I kept this bracket for the coolant reservoir, so this is bolted back up. This wire here, these two with this little grommet, goes up to this hole, and these are the ones that go to the side markers up here on the fender. So this short one will go to that side, and this really long one over here, all the way to here, will go all the way through here up to that corner there. And then I think some of these ones, I'm not sure. I don't know where these go yet. Maybe over here, maybe around and then down and through, I think, possibly. Or to AC, maybe? I don't know. I'll have to see. And these ones, what are these for? Oh, this is for brake. That's for brake. And this might be for coolant, I think. Yeah. It said, I don't know where everything goes, but as you start putting it in place, you start to remember where things go. So we're getting there. So let's go through there. Yeah, I think that is for brake and that is for coolant. So those two will be right over here. And I want to say this goes across the top to this side somewhere, but we're getting there. Once this is all situated, we'll do the final one, and then we're almost done for today. So I think at this point, we're pretty much done for the day. I have all three sections of the harness into the car. For the most part, it might change slightly, but for the most part, this is where everything will be. And I'll give you a quick run through on how we did this. So for right now, the ECU is still kind of just set in place. We'll change that later on, but for now, it can just sit there. The left side goes down and around to the O2 sensors, and then it cuts off this way where it tees right here, and goes all the way through underneath this, comes out on this side, and then into the car for some of the fuse box plugins. And then the right side here comes out of the middle there and goes to all of this stuff, which is the injectors, the coil packs, all that kind of stuff actually on the engine itself. And the plan is to have this side kind of tuck in right on the right side of the engine, which I think will work. We can always put this over here if I need to, but I think that'll work just fine. And then this section over here that goes into the fuse box as well. This grommet comes to the top, which is my right and left little corner markers on the fenders. This one over here I ran across the top under this little cover over to here. I'm not quite sure what these go to. I can't remember the current moment, but for now they'll just sit right there. And then fan control modules mounted in place. And then we have like the battery ground, battery positive. We have the headlight harness right here, which I still have. So this will get connected into this one, like right here on the rat support, but not until the front end goes back on. But for the most part, that's it. Now I didn't do the inside of the car yet because it's freezing out here. I'm kind of tired and I just don't feel like being on the dash right now, but probably tomorrow we'll come back and get all that plugged into the actual fuse box. But for the most part, this is it. It's kind of exciting to actually see wiring back in the engine bay, which is really cool. Now I know this project has been a very long time coming, but we're actually getting close. The VR5 is gonna run this month. Like wiring for the most part in, the clutch is on its way. It's gonna run this month. Well, actually, depending on if I did this properly, if I actually wired up properly, but those are things we'll cross later on. Aside from that, we're pretty close to hearing some VR5 sounds. I will say it's kind of funny though, because as soon as this project is completed, we're just gonna do it all over again with this car. But with that, getting into the video here, it is currently down to 18 degrees. My little heaters definitely are not good enough. They help, but it's 18 degrees outside, so it's cold in here. It's far too cold in here, and I'm done for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed. Do not forget to be thankful for every single day. See you guys next time. Peace.